Breaking news that nobody cares about. Activision drops their biggest IP, Call of Duty, and no one is playing it. Once FPS legend Call of Duty was a game that other devs were too scared to drop their releases even in the same month as this giant. But now, most players are too distracted with other titles and other new games that have come out to even acknowledge its existence, tanking millions of dollars of budget that all probably went to teach an AI to make some very bland and uninspired calling cards. The franchise is just not doing very well. I'm a guy in a tie, and I have with us Activision themselves to comment on the backlash of their most recent title. No response. The Ubisoft approach to shooting yourself in the foot. Alright guys, so I've been playing Call of Duty Black Ops 7 over the weekend, mainly because I've been hearing nothing but bad things about it since its launch. Now, I originally was going to hard skip this title. I played Black Ops 6 when it dropped, and it was kind of meh to me. I didn't really like it that much. It started to feel like the series was getting far too repetitive for my own liking, and there was just other games to play. And I'm gonna be honest, it's a shame. Classic COD was the jelly to my jam when I was younger. 2007 to 2012 was peak COD in my opinion, and I feel sorry for most non-UNC status gamers today that they won't get the joy of classic COD. You know, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, the good ones. These were absolutely amazing, especially to washed up gamers like myself. Modern Warfare 2 especially is the game that got me hooked on more competitive play in video games. Locking in domination with my school friends while they're shouting racial slurs and talking about a night of passion they once had with my mother, those are some of my fondest memories growing up. But I feel like Call of Duty started to tank when Activision released Modern Warfare again, but slightly different, back in 2019. Now, I'll be honest, I thought that was actually a solid title and was the last Call of Duty game I generally really enjoyed playing and really sunk some hours into. But since then, they have been squeezing this cash cow for everything it's worth, trying to suckle even the bottom pocket change out of their consumers just to make some monies and hit figures. And I mean that, not players, consumers. The development team, Activision, actively refers to you as consumers. You are just financial numbers to them at this point, and that's a big problem. But we're not here to deep dive and analyze the good games in the series. We're here to talk about Black Ops 7 and why it's really that bad, and why it's actually kind of a good thing this game is just a massive bomb. You see, competition is honestly why this game looks so bad in my opinion. Players have just too many choices now, and there's just so many other development teams trying to make it big in the industry that it just makes these very safe titles that don't really innovate at all look bad. This generation has primarily been all about the indie, and that's because, like I said, they honestly make better games than most corpo devs. But it's not just them, even Battlefield 6 at the very least is trying to change up the status quo. And before Blops 7 dropped, it looked like it was trying to take the reins from the most popular FPS title. And to be fair, after the launch of the new Call of Duty, that's kind of pretty much cemented it. I am so happy people are finally starting to wake up and not take shit from these devs. Ubisoft, Activision, the Pokemon company, these guys ride on the tailcoats of what was once a bloody good game, don't get me wrong, but got way too complacent, became less about how do we improve and give these players a banging experience time and time again, but more about how do we make more money out of them with the least amount of effort this year, and then we do it again next. I don't know about you, but I am sick of that attitude. Now, I knew Black Ops 7 was going to be a terrible experience even before I downloaded the game. First off, I had 8 different downloads I had to sieve through, and I had no idea what was actually needed to play the new game and what was just honestly shovelware at this point. All I knew was I did not want this game, and this launch had taken up nearly half a terabyte on my hard drive. That's ridiculous. How are we still in a world where Call of Duty has these massive installs? So I downloaded what I thought I needed and boot up the game, just to be told I needed to exit and then do that again because of an update. Okay. Then I needed to wait 10 minutes for the shaders to load, which meant that I had plenty of time to get ads about a game I haven't even played yet. Yes, Activision, I would love to spend £100 extra on skins and a battle pass for a game that hasn't even loaded in properly yet. Once that was done, I went into Black Ops 7 and where's the campaign? I haven't downloaded the campaign. So I thought the co-op download before I installed was just to play the campaign with your friends or whatever. I didn't want to do that. I wanted a solo experience. Fuck me, I guess. No, you have to play this multiplayer. So you have to download the co-op campaign to experience the single player story. Yeah, sure. That doesn't hurt my brain at all. So I backed out, spent another 10 minutes downloading that portion of the game, went back into the game, and then the shaders needed to update again, so I got to sit there and contemplate what the fuck this company's doing, to then finally go into the campaign, which meant I had to wait in a lobby to find players so we could all sit down and watch a cutscene together, which then took us back to the lobby so we could wait to load and boot up the level, which then gave us another cutscene, which doesn't sound too bad, but one of my teammates, of course, had open mic, so I got to experience the glory of this story in stereo.
First, I'd like you to experience the Guild's most intriguing new product.
Then finally, after over half an hour since I started downloading Call of Duty, I finally got to play the game. Right out of the gate, this is a massive problem. People don't have time to deal with this, and I have some pretty insane internet. I have a gigabyte up and down, so my internet's pretty fast. Some people don't have that. Some people have clocked off work or left school and they just want to sit down and play a game with their friends or just mong out to a first-person shooter story. There's just so many hurdles here for no reason other than to just get you to play their other games or download packs and spend money. It's stupid. Look, I know the story isn't the meat of the dish with these games anymore, but man, does this campaign just feel tacked on, last second addition. If anyone came into this title wanting to be fully immersed, that ain't gonna happen, son. Being forced into co-op almost makes that impossible. You get ping issues because you're playing online and not everyone has great internet. You have a string of numbers at the bottom of the screen just staring into your soul the entire time. Why is this just not an extra option to play with friends? Why can't I just do it solo? The randos absolutely ruined my experience. Some were okay, some generally wanted to play the game. Others just AFK'd most missions. Dude, are you gonna get in the boat? Dude, you gonna get in the boat? He's not getting into the boat. And that guy just left. He got so fed up, he just rage quit. Oh my god. Yeah, you don't really build a bond with the randos. They change out all the time. People just did not like this campaign. So many gamers left. I even had one point where I was actually on my own, which was nice. Why couldn't I just stay like this all the time? Whereas other players were just brain dead and held up the missions far longer than they should have. Okay, so I've solved the puzzle already for this first mission. First mission, by the way. Let's see how long it takes the others to figure it out. Oh, he's really close. Oh, that's right there. Just look in the window, bro. You got this. Ah. Okay, this is getting really stupid. I know I could just do it for them, but that's not how you learn. They're just rubbing their dick on everything. Jesus Christ. All right, there we go. We're done. Okay, so that was a bit mean on my part, but other puzzles lock you out. So you have to sit there and watch players just fumble away at a puzzle until they either solve it or they rage quit it. Come on, man. It's been 5 minutes. It's just the BioShock minigame puzzle. It's made for literal children. Yo, you're almost there, man. You just need to turn this one. No, what are you doing, man? Oh, it's right there. It's just turn this one. Oh, thank God he gave up. All right, let's solve this.
7-4.
Done. Dear Lord. The story itself is honestly pretty comedic. It feels like a meme the devs put together and decided to work too much on. So the main plot is the Scarecrow fear toxin. This is going out in the world and it makes people see shit. This could have been really cool. They could have had some really out there levels with the psychedelic drug hallucination stuff, but they don't do anything with it. Their creativity boils down to a few machetes falling from the sky. You get it because Mendez had a machete. My God. Enemies are just copy and pasted straight out of a zombies game mode. Boss fights are just so damn repetitive. Just, oh, there's the boss. You shoot him, he disappears, rinse and repeat 40 times. Fun. Or some of them are just copied straight out of God of War that released on the PS2. This is stupid. This is Call of Duty, guys. You know, the realistic tactical shooter that people have been playing for years. Now I'm just fighting a giant version of the guy from Zombieland. There's a little inch of creativity with the Sonic the Hedgehog levels where just the roads go absolutely mental. The daily commute for the city must suck. But mostly it's brain dead. People complain about the AI art stuff with the calling cards, and yeah, that's stupid. I don't think it's as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. But I feel like the devs used AI to make this campaign. It just doesn't feel like COD. It feels like a fever dream, but not like a creative one. You know, like a fever dream where you're at work and you just realize you're not going to get that Excel spreadsheet made in time, so you're just sitting there with a cold sweat. That's Black Ops 7. They could have gone so much more weird with it. Make it interesting. Why didn't they have the fear toxin take us back to some recreated levels from classic COD, like COD 4 or Modern Warfare? Even going back to World at War, like they could have done something so cool, some nostalgia put in, but instead they don't. They just use the campaign to show you multiplayer maps. They tried to get a little bit of that nostalgia by bringing back characters that have died in the series for like their last moments, but then they turn into the giant plant from Shop of Horrors. Okay, you know, I really liked Frank Woods. I just wish he turned into a tree sometimes. Like, you literally just have to shoot the glow spot on these bosses to win. This is like baby's first boss fight in a video game, which is fine if you're just like an indie dev or an up-and-comer trying to find your footing. This is the most successful franchise. What the fuck? It's just bland. I feel like I'm Gordon Ramsay here, but it's fucking bland. Let's do a little experiment. Take a look at these two game modes, and you tell me which one of these is the zombies mode and which one's the campaign. You worked it out yet? Well, if you answered these are both the campaign, then you win. It's so stupid. The 4-hour campaign is just advertisement for maps in the multiplayer, and most of them are reused and repackaged from previous titles. And the game ends with what I assume is the new map for Warzone. Literally, after you complete the game, the climax of the title, Black Ops 7 just skips the credits and just throws you into a multiplayer extraction map. It's like they knew players were too busy playing Ark Raiders than this fucking slop. It's just dumb. The campaign is atrocious. I just hated it, man. The fear toxin stuff just doesn't go anywhere. It's so lackluster. And the more modern day mech shooting, robots, guns, like it's okay, it's different, but man, play a better game. Titanfall 2 came out 9 years ago and it's still one of the best, if not the best, single player first person shooters. And honestly, that's my recommendation. There's 2 other games you should be playing, either Battlefield 6 or Titanfall 2. Because if you're not a hardcore loyal Call of Duty fan, there's just nothing here. The multiplayer it's okay, movement's the same, the gunplay is the same, pretty much the last title again. It feels like a map pack or DLC. It doesn't feel like the next innovation of the series. And I guess it's fine if that's all you want, but it does seem like players are starting to get fed up with the status quo. They want these games to be renovated, improved on, not just coast on a system that worked 10 years ago. I don't know, I hope these big companies start to see that there's just far too much competition out there now in the industry to keep shoveling this crap, and that they really need to up their game. I'm sorry this was more of a rant than an analysis of the title, but I don't know, man. This is rock bottom, and the team really needs to actually put some work in if they want to keep the very few loyal players they still have. We see it all the time with the devs. They think getting to the point when they're king of the hill is the hard part, and now all they have to do is rake in the money. But I'd argue now the hard part is keeping that title. There's always a new, younger title chomping at the bit to try and take that hill from you. You have to adapt. And some do it well and adapt. Look at Overwatch. They had the exact same flaw, but then Rivals came out and they had to adapt and try and regain some credibility from their fan base. And honestly, they look like they were dead in the water and they're still in the running. That's impressive, but other companies don't. So this team needs to decide which part of the spectrum it's on. That's all I really have to say on Flop 7. I'm going to go back to diving into Assassin's Creed, the retrospectives next. And next up is Assassin's Creed 3, so keep an eye out on that. If you haven't been on this channel before, maybe this is the first video you saw. I'm sorry. It's not a great one, but check out the channel. We do a lot of retrospectives on classic titles and new titles. As always, I'm going to glaze the fuck out of my patrons. They go above and beyond supporting this channel, and if you would like to get a shout out at the end of every single video I make, and exclusive reviews and updates on projects, that are only for Patreon's eyes, hit the link on screen and sign up. So a massive thank you to Pitstab, Ali Tato, The Shane 209, Chris Spicer, Critical Quacker, Redfish, and Pitor Skaliski. I'm sorry, I've butchered that name. I'm really sorry. Absolute legends, a lot of you. I'll see you in the next video. As always, stay safe out there and stay fashionable, gents. Tie out. Peace.
Going on.